To talk us through Q1, Keith and Jules.
Here it is then, the first of our qualifying sessions, as 15 minutes are already ticking away. We've had 30 seconds of them. Most riders of the 23 are down, or should I say the remainder of the 23, from 11, Carol Abram, Jack Miller, Alicia Spargo, Jorge Lorenzo, Scott Redding, Loris Vaz, Andrea Iannone, Hector Barbara, Alex Rins is back, Sam Lowe's, Tito Rabat, Paul Espargaro and Bradley Smith, the two KTM men. Those Miller could only manage 14th in the wet earlier on today, which surprised me.
Yes, but you'd say that in these conditions...
I think we've got the pleasure of Mr. Hodgson joining us for that as well. Yeah, but the reasoning was because Miller won this race in the wet last year.
Exactly, yeah, Kingston. I think there is a...
I'll tell you what, one thing that they've got all in common at the moment.
Soft tyres.
Soft, wet tyres on board.
Redding not got the caption up, I'm assuming it's the same on number 45.
At least it's all consistent. The weather, the conditions, there are no drying patches at the moment. Green flag, sector clear. Time to get on with it. Of course,
here's the mist.
Around most of this racetrack now, within these 15 minutes, there could be a dry line, by the way. Unless that to the left there gets to us.
It's entirely possible. The trouble is, as you said earlier, with this racetrack, it can be torrential down the start-finish straight, and there's a proper dry line out the back.
Problem you've got as well is you need to keep off the paint. There's certain parts of this track that have got fairly grippy paint and it's drained off fairly well, but even when the track's dry, the possibilities are that the paintwork won't be dry, and you get out there foot by a foot, and you've got a spinning rear wheel. Here comes Hector on Jorge Lorenzo. Hector was very, very quick in the wet earlier today as well, so Lorenzo would do well just sitting behind him.
That might have done Jorge a favour. I was just wondering about that. Over the line we go. 151 is the opening bid.
Baz, 150.1 now. Abraham is up there as well. Keep an eye on Abraham. I'm waiting for Redding. Iannone. There we go on the Suzuki. He's had the hurry up since...
obviously.
Into it. I wonder if they'll stay out. One of these tyres will hang on for a long session. Miller, 150.0. We're in 50s still, so there's a lot to come from the wet session here. Let's have a look what it said. Yeah, it was wet. Right. I tried to make a note to give what was the degree of wetness in free practice 3. It makes a big difference.
There's a bit to come, we reckon, a fair bit
to come. A lot to come. Don't forget, we've got live with qualifying 2 coming up after this qualifying 1. I think we've got the pleasure of Mr. Hodgson joining us for that as well.
Oh, he's deigning to step in, is he?
I think he's had enough of being out in the wet, and he's going to come back and give us a bit of pit lane insight. Iannone, 4th with a personal best. Miller's on a quickie again.
Sam's on a quick one.
Sam Lowe's as well. Look at Sam Lowe's, nearly a second under the time he comes to the line. What's that going to do with Sam Lowe's? Surely top.
Excellent.
Yes, it is. 1:48.888. Well, I did say that 46 was the marker from free practice 3 wet weather time.
There's parts of this track that look like there's almost a dry line already.
Yeah, it fools you though.
Yes.
If it's chucking out... I think we've got the pleasure of Mr. Hodgson joining us for that as well. But it's about the heat in the tyres as well. Sitting here in our commentary box, you just can't tell how cool it's gone out there or not. That is Sam Lowe's on 22, chasing 44 Paul Espargaro. In front of him is Bradley Smith with the... I think we've got the pleasure of Mr. Hodgson joining us for that as well. Barbara's gone a bit quicker. Alicia's on a quick one at the moment. Here comes Sam up the inside of Paul Espargaro. Surprised to see Paul Espargaro quite that slack on the brakes into the chicane.
You and me both. But again, my memory banks say that Paul and the wet are not best friends.
Well, Sam putting the pace on at the moment. Lowe's is your top man, 1:48.2 as he went across the line. So Lowe's using that pace. Scott Redding, though, nearly half a second under, comes to the line. Scott Redding.
Giving it a bit of an airing.
Baz, we're looking at 76. He's on a quickie as well. Will he keep it up through sector 3? We're coming towards the end of that, excuse me, while I was getting all excited over the white line that he nearly went to. Right on the fine edge of grip. Loris Baz we're looking at. Ooh, he's quick still. He's still 4/10 better. Baz is looking for a pole position. He can use the edge of the curbs there. This is quick stuff through here. The last left-hander now as he squirts it down.
And Scotty, these are his conditions. This is where we should see the big lad from Gloucestershire at his best.
Down into the braking area at the chicane end. Scott Redding concentrating on this. He's got good form here. And Assen now first or second in this qualifying 1 will do. He goes top, 47.7. No guess as to who she's rooting for at this moment in time, that's for sure. Scott Redding in the Pramac team then flying. Here comes Miller. It could be much worse than that for Jorge.
The back row beckons.
Unbelievable. These are not his conditions. This is not his racetrack in these conditions.
I think he'd probably apologise to Italian lip readers there as well for whatever Todozzi said.
Indeed. Number 8, Hector Barbara, looking to get on top of Lorenzo. Lorenzo all but a second off the pace. Carol Abrams going to be in front of Jorge Lorenzo. Carol Abrams, they're staying out, which I thought they might, and now it's Scott Redding again pushing to the line. Has Redding done anything in sector 4?
Yes, he has.
47.3. This really is about every lap, concentration on every inch of this racetrack to make it work. Miller, though, he's going to go to the line. He will go top, surely. He doesn't. Lose it on the fourth sector. Aleix Espargaro just outside. 47.7 for him.
It's a quarter of a second off Miller's time.
Yeah. Get it right where he don't want it.
That's what it looks like to me.
He's going to get it through the fast stuff, which is where the most amount of time...